Ugh. It sounded like a horn. Always constantly on that note. I hope it wasn't too loud or anything. Yeah, can I have the fan? It's up there, isn't it? It's by the door. By the door where it opens. Or back behind the white. Okay. This stool. Falling down. Oh. Okay, everybody, good afternoon. As you know who I am, Mr. Cordy. Welcome to Biology Clubus. Today we're going to be officially beginning with our very first topic on ecology. Okay, so how this is going to work is I'm going to be going through what we're going to be doing every day, and then we're going to get to it. Now, I want you all to know, for those of you who are my Menton, and I know that Labimbi Bluebell and Labimbi Grois and Grozier and Cockpen are doing this. Well, no, I don't think it's Cockpen. I think it's Labimbi Talayatak is also doing this. So, the Mentons are going to be reading The Missing Element by Deborah Silverman. All of you, if you didn't get a copy of it already, then the books have just arrived, okay, for Maya Menton. For participants at Maya Menton, please grab your copy after we're done with this meeting, okay, because, and I want you to read it on your own, but we're also going to be having like a little, like daily meeting about it. Every morning when we have our Menton meetings, there'll be a section of those meetings where we talk through certain sections of that book. Okay, that's what I want to tell you. I think that ours came the earliest that any Mentons have come. And I just want to show you what the book looks like before we continue. So this is what it looks like right here. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is what the book looks like. Okay? So this is the front and this is the back, and it comes in paper cover. Now, as you will see, looking on the table over there, I have extra books over there, okay? Extra. So what that means is, for those of you who put your name on the list who wanted a copy of the biology books, those are over there, and I want you to grab that for yourselves, because I'm going to have you do a little bit of reading out of it today, okay? And then we'll be going through it on the board with the reading. And also, for this whole clubus, you're all going to be using a book, because the thing is, I have this thing structured through the printed book and not the online textbook, because the online textbook is written out and structured differently than how I have in mind to see fit to structure it. So we're going to go off of how the printed book structures it. So meaning, if you read it on your own, then you're going to have to search for the right content. You're going to have to kind of skip around to different chapters and different sections to be able to find what you're looking for. Because it is a different edition. Okay, and I could not find a way to get the Pearson Realize of the edition that we'll use. Okay, but it's the same book, same authors, it's written the same way. Okay, now, today we're going to be starting with ecology. So here on the board, I have it organized this way. I just want you all to look here and pay attention. Now, I have this written up here. Now, I have the content here, and then I have all the activities for the section down here, below this little line that's making the middle of it. Okay? Now, let's see here. And I'll put this book, I'll put this whiteboard away for when we don't really need it, but I just have it out for right now. So we're going to be getting into today, not all of this. We're not going to be getting into all of it today. It will be broken down into 3 days of content. So today we're going to be getting into the definition of ecology. What is ecology? What does it look at? What is the study of ecology, and what is it about? It's an introduction day to ecology. Okay, and then we're going to get into ecology study methods, how scientists study ecology. So we're going to kind of get our feet into the water of this particular topic. And that's mainly all we're going to talk about today. And then tomorrow we're going to be talking about global systems and also looking at the levels of ecological organization. Okay. And then what's going to happen is then the third day we're going to be taking a look at biotic and abiotic factors, including doing the interactivity that third day as well for this whole section. Okay, and that's basically how it's going to be. And we're going to be doing a lot of things like labs and other activities for different topics that we're talking about, but ecology is not really one of those things. So it's probably not going to be the most interesting to some of you. There'll be a lot of reading, hearing me talk, and all that kind of thing. Just remember what you signed up for. And I'm not really too much interested into ecology, although I am somewhat interested. I find more fascinating in terms of biology, more about things having to do with things that are kind of complex, like chemical processes and a lot of the other information that we're going to be delving into. So it's probably going to start now and go way to the end of this fall. That's at least what I have in mind, but I cannot guarantee it. I just did not want to have to go through the introductory information with you, so that way you learned all of it in a flash. Okay? So, yeah. And also it goes along with what I'm reading in the book. I'm going to be learning all of this along with you. Okay? So that's generally, where we're at. Now, so what's going to be happening is the very, very first thing that we're going to be doing, and this is going to stay up here, and I'm going to use another side of the board. And when I give my regular Momentum meetings, I will not be using that other side unless I could have another board. For some reason, when I try to clone this, the cloning machines don't respond to it for some reason. And it's also, it's just the shape of it doesn't really fit into a cloning machine because it's not wide or big enough. A person or just a book fits beautifully, but this is a little bit too wide. So what I'm going to have you do now is, I know that I'm really getting into kind of the school class mode of it all. But I want you all to read the very start. So I'm going to show you. So actually, what I want all of you to do right now is you're all going to be using the printed book. Because the reason for it is when you look on your computer and try to read it, it's kind of bad for your eyes, number one. Number two, is you can read the online on your own, and again it structures it differently, so we're going to go off of what it looks like in the printed text. Okay, so for those of you who have a copy of the printed book, for those of you who want your copy, and for those of you who don't want a printed copy, but you need to grab one right now, then I have those things over there for you. I have those books stacked up over there. And for those of you who already have your book, that you wanted the book, you're fine. And I also have stacked up copies of The Missing Element, by Deborah Silverman. Just like I would have copies of Night by Elie Wiesel. Because if you take a look at the book, it kind of looks like Night by Elie Wiesel, how that looks. So anyway, a certain edition of it, just how kind of thin it is, and also the gray blue color. So I want you to grab yourself a book, and if you already have them, please get them out. And when you do, I want you to, the very, very first thing is, now here's the thing. I'm not going to have you make the decision if you want to keep the book by the end of this, or if you want to return the book by the end of this. I'm not going to let you make the decision. But if you want to keep the book, I am a firm believer in, imploring you to keep this book, because I disagree with, if you're so, fascinated, or you enjoy, or you're interested in, the content of this book, and then me telling you, well, you have to return it. No, I don't believe that. And we have cloning machines, so we can make copies and copies and copies over the years of this Clubus. So if you want to keep it, then that is amazing, okay? But if you don't, you want to give it away, and you don't want to have it sitting around your house or your shelf, want to give it away, then that is perfectly fine. It is completely your decision. Okay, there will be a book return by the end of this. And again, you know the rules. Treat it like, you would treat, it as if it is your own, and it probably will be if you were deciding to keep it. With respect, don't lose it, don't throw it around, don't mistreat it, be careful with it. You know all that etiquette. So when looking at the cover of it, it's kind of, I just want to kind of talk about just the first couple features of it. So looking at the cover of it, and I just want to show you what, okay, this thing's completely in the way. Okay, so this is the cover of it, and this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. And maybe I will make a video on just the tour of how this particular book looks, with the printed edition, so that you can probably watch this will only be for like your own help or navigational reasons, or need and want and kind of thing. But I think that it's pretty easy to navigate and figure out. So Miller and Levine Biology, that this was written by two men that want to write a biology book to change all biology textbooks. Kind of another TCI, teach TCI, learn TCI, if you know what I'm talking about. And in your history courses at the academy, we do use those books. Okay, so on the front it has a beautiful picture of a parrot, and you could certainly scan through the book if you want to. But so on the when you turn it to the very, very first page, this is what I want all of you to do. Okay, all of you took the wonderful initiative and got them as I was talking. Okay, alright. So, yeah, actually grab your copy of it. I realize that some of you didn't do that yet. So how about you do that? So any notes that will be taken is when I am talking to you. But if you want to take notes over what you're reading, then, actually, come to think of it, I think that would be a fine idea. We'll all get into that. So the very, very first thing is, and I want to talk to those people who are keeping it for a certain time, or just keeping it forever. For those individuals, I'm going to segregate those individuals from the people that are just getting this just to use for today. So for those people, you open it up to the very, very first page, and it says the book is the property of. So putting the state, you don't need to worry about province, country, So they all have numbers on them. Well, actually, yeah, they have numbers on them. So whatever number is written on the side of that book, you're going to put under book that little abbreviation. So in where it says state, province, country, parish, school district, other, just fill in state, country, and for school district Canada Amenton. So Canada Amenton, the name Canada. So I'll just write it up here. Canada Amenton is spelled Amenten. So that's what you're putting. And also, actually, I would put cross out school district and put Amenton. Okay, and so then on that line put Canada. Okay, that's the on the name of the Amenton leader. I'm Lopez Canada. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. Okay, I said something that kind of contradicted what I said. I said put Amenton Canada, or Canada Amenton, and then I told you something different. Okay, everybody changes their mind. Everybody's not a human machine and has it perfectly thought and structured out. And I'm not that type of person. Okay, so do that. Okay, and then for those who are keeping it, okay, and for those who are keeping it and want to return it by the end, put your first and last name on there, okay, and then put the day that it was issued to you, okay. So whatever day that you got it, so put the date. So yesterday's date was 7/26/20. Today's date is 7/27/20. Okay, and then the return date, we really don't know. Okay, so that information I just want you to fill out real quickly before we get into it. Okay, now the very, very next thing is if you turn to the you just can skip all the like the author's notes and how they wrote the book or whatever, and people who wrote it, that doesn't matter. That's not what we're getting into. So turning to the contents page. So you're skipping through the nature of life. If you look at the contents page for what that says, when it says the science of biology, what is science? Science in context and studying life, and then the chemistry of life, all that stuff you learned in that schooling room when you were taking notes on that presentation. So you're skipping down to Unit 2 of what it says, or Topic 2, Ecology. That's where we're really going to start. Okay? And when I was in high school biology, we kind of went at it the same way. We looked at the introduction to biology, and then we looked at some chemistry, and then it took like most of the fall, and then it was like in mid-November we got into ecology after moving like a snail through talking about chemistry, and we did not get into much of any of those other topics, so I didn't learn that much. So we didn't get accomplished that much. But that story is going to change here. I'm going to be redeeming how my teacher taught it, and hopefully beating him. So ecology. So you're looking at Chapter 3, the biosphere. So that page is on page 62. Okay, so page 62. So I want you to turn to page 62, okay, So 62. So turning to that page. Okay, wonderful. And you know what? Something that I completely forgot, because I'm realizing that you're all sitting down on chairs and you're all holding it up to your laps, and you're probably going to need to, have your pencils and papers, notebooks out. So this is something I completely forgot about at the beginning. This is what I told you yesterday. So what I want you all to do before we actually start this whole thing is I want you to go over to the little supplies room, okay, which is 3 doors down from the cabinetry room. Okay, so the cabinetry room, there's a door on the left side, the next room door on the left side. When you go into that room, you should find tables, like little tables, and those not necessarily like desks, but they're little like standard household, very, very sturdy, steady, high quality, strong tables. So I want you to grab yourselves one, okay? And for the person, your name is oh, and here's something else. So, okay, all of you, I realized that I forgot to tell you this from the beginning. I want the sticky note that you made yesterday where you put your first and last name and your mention. I want you to get that out. And I really, really hope that you put that in a place where you could find that. I want you to get that out, please, and then stick it here until I warn your names like the back of my hand. Okay, so get that out, stick it on your shirt or whatever so that I can do this effectively. Okay, now we've done that. Now, Ileana, now I know what your name is. Since you're sitting at that table over there, you're perfectly fine. You can use that table. Okay, that's why it's there. But for everybody else, I want you to go into that room, grab yourself a table. So, as I said again, you go right down through the kitchen into the cabinetry room or the pantry room. Okay, and then there's a door off to the right of that wall. It says Vander room. You go in that door, and then off to that white wall in that room, it says supplies room. You're going to go into that room, and then there's all of the tables that you need. And I want you to grab yourselves one table. When you do, what's going to happen is you're all going to come in and set them up wherever your chair is. Okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, real quickly, I completely forgot about that. Okay, so now that you've done that, and I notice that all of you have your books still open. So what's going to happen is, so just leave those open. Okay, now what I want you to do is, I think it would be a really great idea, because I'm trying to balance the club with the class. It's like, I don't know, I don't want to talk numbers with sense, but a lot of it is class-based. So I think what would be a really great and very, very wise idea for you to have something to refer to and keep, and to help you learn the material, and to have something to organize it, then all of you are going to be taking notes. I want all of you to be taking notes as you're reading through. Okay, so I have notebooks over there next to the missing element books, okay, that have stacked up right now. Okay, and I also have Everlast books over there too. Right by those missing element books, I have notebooks that you can use. Okay, now here's the thing. This is the thing. For those of you who have them, that is great. For those of you who don't have them, I want you and need you to grab one of those. For those of you who still don't have one, but there's none left, then for today, you can share with, you can share with just, I'm just the person sitting next to you where they can just probably whip out a piece of paper for today. I will clone those notebooks so that there is more for everybody. And I didn't want to have to do the checklist, put your name on the list thing, so I'll just clone them. Just a couple more, however many people don't have notebooks, that they couldn't get it because it's not available, or aside from the people that already have them or have like scratch paper. But that is definitely something that I would always remember to bring. When you come here, one of the things that you need, one of your materials that you need is your notebook. Okay, I want to make that clear. Do not forget it, because you will need that. Okay, and I don't think that there's a whole lot to it. Okay, so grab yourselves one, and also open up to a blank page in that notebook. Okay, and that's going to be your notebook for um, this whole clubus. So here, I want you to listen very, very carefully. So for those of you who already have a notebook, okay, yeah. So for those of you who have a notebook or getting a notebook, I want you to title, for the notebook people, I want you to title that biology notebook. Okay, biology notebook. That's what I want you to title it. Then I want you to also put your name on it, first and last, so that you can